Merry Christmas, everyone. I am Natalie, in case you have never taken one of my classes before. I'm super excited that you are joining me this morning, or whenever you are viewing this video, to take a little time out for yourself. So we have a festive and fun practice. Practice is around 60 to 75 minutes, just depending on how long you sit in certain shapes or in meditation or shavasana. Of course, if you need to cut this shorter, then absolutely do what you need to do. I'm just going to ask you that you stay present for the time that you are giving to yourself and that you are committing to this practice. So for our practice today, we will possibly need a block. If you don't have a block, no worries. You can use a book. You can use something that is block shaped. You can use a chair, just something to help support you. We are going to be working towards two challenging postures today. I'll go ahead and let you know what they are. We are going to be working towards a pistol squat variation. Please don't let that scare you away. I have lots of modifications and we'll definitely make it fun. And we are going to be building Santa's sleigh or bow pose. So for that pose, you may potentially need a strap. If you don't have one, a towel, a scarf, a belt, anything like that will work. So we are going to have fun. We are going to challenge our bodies, our minds, and our thoughts as we move through the practice this morning. But remember that this practice can be as slow and as nourishing as you need. So take out what you need to take out, add what you need to add. Just make this fun. This is not serious at all. It is designed to bring joy, maybe some laughter and smiles to your face.
Right,
so when you're ready, when you have your space, we'll get started.
Today. So we'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana, if that's comfortable. Soles of the feet together, knees will drop open. And then just allow the arms to rest up by the chest and goalpost arms. Shoulder blades melting into the mat, traveling down the spine. And just breathe here. Whatever has been going on before you stepped onto this mat, just take a couple of deep breaths in, full breaths out, and let it go. You've done all you need to do. Everything you've done has been enough, and you are here now. Let it all go. After you take a couple of full exhales, releasing tension, releasing the stress, releasing the anxiety, releasing the anticipation, then just start to settle into your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. When you're ready to do so, you can start to slowly bring the knees together. And we're going to start with some gentle glute bridges here. So I like to think of this as an upside down cat-cow. Slowly moving through the spine, moving with the breath. You can roll the hips up and slowly roll the hips down, starting to find the own cadence and rhythm of your unique breath. Starting to explore your body, explore sensation, and just explore what it feels like to be truly present with yourself. We'll take a few more rounds just like this, and then if it would feel okay, we're going to add some arm movement. So again, just get the body moving here, get the breath moving. And then if you would like, you can take a deep breath in, reach the arms up as you lift the hips, and as you exhale, arms come down, hips come down. We'll do just a few rounds like this. If this doesn't feel good in your body, doesn't feel good in your shoulders, then feel free to just keep lifting your hips up and down or do another movement entirely. This is your practice. This is your time. This is your gift to yourself. Everything we do here today is totally optional. This practice is meant to give back to you. It's meant to be fun and joyful. And when you're ready to lower those hips one last time, perhaps windshield wiper the knees from side to side before we make our way into a half happy baby pose. So we'll bring that right knee to your right underarm, clasping the pinky toe side of that right foot. And just breathe here. Take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. And you can adjust the intensity of your sensation here by how far you push up that right heel. Or if this is too much, just hug that right knee into your chest. If you've been running around, shopping, wrapping presents, these legs may be tired. So just take a couple of deep breaths, maybe closing your eyes, and just ask your body what it is that it needs. A couple more deep breaths here. We're going to move into supine pigeon next. By taking a deep breath in, exhaling to take that right foot over your left knee. Just take a moment, settle in here. And then play with pulling that left knee into your chest, perhaps interlacing behind the left upper thigh, maybe even that left shin. And breathe here, keeping your hips square to the mat. If any of these shapes call you to linger a little bit longer, feel free to do so. If any of these shapes call you to leave a little bit sooner, feel free to do so. Perhaps you felt like this whole season that you needed to please others or do for others, but just remind yourself that this practice is only something that you need to do for you. Take the weight off of your shoulders. Relax the tension from your jaw and soften your breath. A couple more in and out. We're going to slowly release that left foot. As we cross the legs all the way over to the left, that right foot will gently touch down to the floor as you gaze over your right shoulder. If this is too much, then you can just bring the knees together and hug them up in towards your chest. Playing with your own edge. And just let the exhale really be your friend here. Breathing into all four sides of your lungs, your rib cage, breathing into the belly, and exhale fully. One more deep, full breath in. Exhale as you release, and then start to bring it back into center. Maybe pausing in center to windshield wiper from side to side. And we're going to start with our second side. Finding a half happy baby on the left side, knee towards the underarm, heel towards the sky. Take some breaths here. Just go ahead and take a moment to acknowledge that this side may feel a little bit different, and that's okay. Give it what it needs. Breathe life into this side of your body, compassion and grace. Knowing that you made it here to this moment. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. We're going to start to slowly move that left foot over the right knee for supine pigeon. Take a moment to settle in. And then maybe interlace behind the right upper thigh. Maybe interlace across the shin. Relax the hips evenly down to the earth. Relax the tops of the shoulders. And breathe. Couple more breaths here. And then as you exhale, start to slowly release that right foot down to the floor, dropping that left foot all the way over. Gaze over your left shoulder. Nice full breaths in, Focusing on the exhale here. Let it all go. Restoring balance to the physical body here. Restoring balance to the nervous system. Relieving tension, relieving tightness. And just overall focusing on what feels good here. Couple more breaths in and out through the nose. And then we'll start to slowly bring the knees back into center, hugging both knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side and up and down your spine until we start to transition to tabletop position. We're going to start to get a little bit more dynamic with our movement. So setting up, we have those wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're just going to find some gentle movement in the spine, dropping the belly button down as you inhale, exhaling as you round. So feel free to stay here for any extra breaths. Sometimes I like to stay in that cat position for a couple of inhales, really breathing in between the shoulder blades. We hold a lot of tension there, especially if you've been stressed or traveling. Just really pay attention to the body. I know, especially as a mom, sometimes it's hard to get out of making sure everyone's happy and gotten everything that they need and want around the holidays, and really tap back into my own body and my own experience and recognizing what it is that I need. So just take a few more breaths, exploring that. And when you're ready, we'll meet in an extended child's pose, letting those knees come out only as far as it's comfortable, big toes together. Feel free to use a blanket or anything to help pad your knees at any point that we have the knees down on the mat. And just breathe here. Setting an intention for this practice, an intention for this time that you've given yourself to step on your mat. Whatever that may be. Maybe it's just to have a few minutes alone, and that's perfectly fine too. And when you have that intention, you've sealed it in, you can start to come back into that tabletop position, and taking a deep breath in, we'll extend the right leg behind us. Right toes down on the mat, press the right heel away from you as you extend the crown of the head forward, and just breathe into the back side of that right leg. We'll start to gently prepare the body. Inhaling, right leg lifts hip height. When you're ready and steady, left arm can reach forward, left thumb to the sky. We're just going to hold here, pulling that belly button in, start to engage those core muscles. Make sure you're gripping the mat with the left fingertips. And then maybe that right heel is going to curl in towards the hips. Left hand will catch it as we come into tiger's pose. Shining the heart forward, roll that left shoulder back, and just take a couple of breaths here. Being super mindful whenever it is that you're ready to release, that you don't slingshot that right foot back, but we'll slowly release it and extend the left fingertips forward, right foot back for one more breath. Rolling over onto your left side here, we'll find a modified side plank. Left fingertips reach up as you open the chest. Lift through that left side body and breathe. Make yourself as expansive as you possibly can here. Opening yourself up to be grateful for all that you have this Christmas, for your family, for the food, for the festivities. Perhaps play with reaching the right fingertips up overhead, finding a little more space in the right side body. Take one more breath. Exhale as you come back to center, right knee comes in. We'll thread that right arm underneath for thread the needle. Feel free to reach the left fingertips towards the top edge of your mat or wrap it around the low back for a half bind. Opening the chest, maybe finding a little more sensation. And just melt and breathe here. One more breath in. Taking left fingertips down, reach the right fingertips up. Exhale back into tabletop position. We're going to step that right foot beside the right thumb, coming into a low lunge. Take your time here. Again, feel free to pad that back knee. Pulling right hip back, press the left hip forward. And just breathe into sensation in the front of that left thigh. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest. And then perhaps leaving the right hand on the right hip, reach the left arm up and over. Keeping the hips squared forward. Maybe press over into that left side body just a little bit. And then if you'd like, with an inhale, you can reach the right fingertips up towards the sky to join the left. Relax the shoulder blades down the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. One more deep breath in. Exhale, taking the fingertips down to the inside of that right foot. We're going to transition back to Skandasana. So rolling back towards that left leg, coming into that side lunge. Just leave the fingertips down on the mat for this first round. Right toes up towards the sky. Breathe. We'll have plenty of time to add on to these poses throughout this practice. Just take these next few moments to prepare the body. Again, I know we've been doing this for a little while, but sometimes around the holidays it takes a little bit longer to really get into your body and get into your breath. So just take a little bit longer today. Just really focus on being present with sensation, present with your breath, present with yourself. Inhale. Exhale, start to walk back towards that right foot. We're going to come into a low lunge with that left knee lifted if that's okay. Feel free to drop the bottom knee or the back knee as you need. Couple more breaths here. Really lift through that left thigh bone. One more breath in. With that exhale, your right foot is going to step back to meet your left into our first downward facing dog. So take a moment here, stretch the chest back, lift the hips. Really spread the fingertips, squeezing the mat. As you press your thigh bones back, perhaps those heels root down towards the earth, but maybe they don't ever physically touch, and that's okay. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Soften your elbows as you squeeze muscle to bone and find your breath. Notice where it is. Notice where this holiday is living in your body. And just bring some breath to it. Inhale. Exhale, knees back down to the floor as we start our second side. Extending the left foot behind you. Take a couple of moments to breathe into the back of that left leg. And then we're going to lift the left leg up to hip height. When you're ready and steady, right fingertips can reach forward, right thumb towards the sky. We've got a little more heat in that core. So extending here, but keeping the shoulder plugged in, hip plugged in. And then perhaps that left heel will start to curl in towards the left hip and right hand will reach around. If it doesn't want to, that's okay. Shine the heart forward, roll the right shoulder back, and breathe. Couple more breaths here. Being mindful as you prepare to release that we don't slingshot that left leg, slowly extend it back, right hand forward, and then we'll find that modified side plank on our right. Left fingertips up towards the sky, lifting with that right side body. Breathe into your ribcage here. Open up and expand. And then maybe play with taking the left fingertips all the way up towards the top edge of your mat. If this doesn't feel right, of course, don't do it. Remember, we're going to feel different from side to side, and that's perfectly normal and okay. Take another breath in. We're going to move back into center, left knee beside the right as you thread the left arm underneath the right for thread the needle. Feel free to take the right arm up or take it to the low back for the half bind. Finding a little bit more sensation, maybe opening your chest a little bit more, the option is yours. Settle in, melt in, and breathe. Couple more breaths here. Inhale. Press the left fingertip or the right fingertips down into the mat. Left fingertips up towards the sky as you exhale back into center. Left foot steps beside the left thumb. We're going to find our low lunge. Hands to your hips, left hip back, right hip forward, and just gently lunge forward. Perhaps leaving left fingertips on your hip, you can reach the right fingertips up and over. Press the right ribs over. Breathe. And then maybe with an inhale, left fingertips reach as well. Relax the shoulders down. Couple more breaths here. We're going to get ready to go back to that Skandasana on the right side. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips down towards the inside of that left foot as we travel, rotating through those hips. Left toes up towards the sky as you breathe here. So we're moving towards the very last part of our warm-up. So breathe a little bit deeper. We're going to start to move a little bit more quickly and build a little bit more heat. But once again, I will remind you, you can take child's pose, you can take a Shavasana in the middle of this practice. Just really focus on giving back to yourself. Back towards that left foot, coming into that low lunge. Lift through that right thigh bone. Breathe, stretch the heart forward, warming up those glutes. Perhaps feeling a little bit of fire in those legs. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, step the left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and out through the nose. Maybe you have a little more space in your legs. Maybe you don't. That's fine too. Maybe you can relax in your shoulders. Maybe you feel a little bit stronger in your core. We're going to rise up onto those tiptoes with an inhale and shift it forward into plank. Belly button in, squeezing muscle to bone. Don't be afraid to drop your knees just like that, or keep the knees lifted for full plank. There is a modification for everyone. For this first round, we're going to drop our knees, squeeze the elbows in as we lower all the way down to the mat. Low cobra. Inhale, lift the chest, send it forward, press into the tops of the feet. And then with an exhale, we're going to press back towards the knees, tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and come back into our downward facing dog. Breathe in and out through the nose. We're going to slowly walk the feet forward one tiny step at a time and find our way into a forward fold. Make this your own. Grab opposite elbows, sway from side to side. Maybe just let the fingertips drag down on the mat. Breathe into the back side of the body. Softly bend in those knees. Relax your hamstrings. Relax your low back. And then from here, we're going to start to slowly roll all the way up. Reach arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands into heart center. Close your eyes. Breathe into your intention. But not only that, start to recognize what you are grateful for. Maybe in this holiday, maybe the whole year. We often finish Christmas and start worrying about New Year's resolutions and what we're going to do and what we're going to change and what we're going to resolve. But just take a moment and breathe into what you are, who you are, and what you've accomplished this past year. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold, stepping it back into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Don't forget you can drop those knees. Inhale, upward facing dog, or do cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to move through a few rounds of Sun A, with each round taking a moment to choose one thing that you are grateful of, proud of, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Reach it up. Breathe it in. Seal it into heart center. Choosing one thing for each round. When you're ready, inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold, step it back. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Bowing into yourself. One more breath in. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, breathe it all the way in. Exhale, seal it in. Choosing another. Inhale, reach it up, breathe it in. Exhale, fold forward, bow in. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, step it back. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's a warm shelter. Maybe it's safe travels. Maybe it's something huge you've accomplished in this past year. Step it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold, pull it into heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step it back. Chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's the health of family. Choose whatever is significant for you. Breathe into it and let go of what you need to. Step it forward and fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it into heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold and bow in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold, step back into plank. Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Breathe. Step it forward and fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Last time, deep breath in. Reach it up. Exhale, pull it into heart center. Take a moment here to breathe. We're going to move into a little challenging flow, but remember, it's only as challenging as you make it. So take what you need and leave the rest. And if it's helpful to remind yourself that I'm doing this in a tacky Christmas sweater made of acrylic, you can go ahead and do that now. Sinking it back into chair, roll the pinkies in, open the heart, send the shoulder blades down to your tailbone and breathe. Easiest way to modify chair pose is to not sit as far back into your chair. Root down into all four corners of both feet. Make sure we're not wiggling our hips from side to side, and pull your left knee in towards your chest. Stepping left toes back, lift your torso, find crescent lunge. Ribs over hips, belly button in. Don't forget to smile here. We're going to bring joy back into our lives. Not that we've lost our joy through the holiday season, but we're really focusing on joy in ourselves. Bring hands to heart center. We're going to rotate back to that Skandasana on the left side. Maybe hands stay at heart center. Maybe they come down to the mat. Maybe they use a block. Lift up through that pelvic floor. Start to activate those glutes as you breathe. We're going to try to use those core muscles, but don't be ashamed to use a chair, a wall, Just anything that you have available to support you. I know support is not something we do a lot of during the holiday season, but use yourself for support or use what you have. Transitioning into side angle, pressing up through those glutes, right elbow, right upper thigh, left arm reaches over. Take the right low ribs, rotate them up towards the sky, and breathe. Inhale, sweep that left arm around. Reach the arms forward as we sink back into our chair. Inhale in chair. Exhale, fold forward. Now these vinyasas are optional. If you'd like, step it back to plank, lower through chaturanga, and then come to a downward facing dog. If you want a little bit gentler practice, then just skip and step back to down dog. Lifting right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, right knee to nose and hold. You can modify by dropping that back knee. Inhale, send it up and back. Exhale, right foot comes forward. And we're going to reach those right fingertips up towards the sky. Use a block, a book, a chair. If you need to support the left fingertips, open the chest. Lift through that right thigh bone. Exhale, right fingertips down and fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Reaching it up with an inhale. And exhale. We're coming back into chair. Making sure hips aren't going to press over to right or left. We're going to pull the right knee up. We're going to step the right foot back. Finding high crescent lunge, second side, ribs over hips, belly button in, relax the shoulders, breathe. Start to pull hands into heart center as we rotate back to Skandasana, second side. We're rotating through these hips for a reason. So just really focus on moving through your hip joints, through your joints, and then stabilizing yourself with those muscles. Don't be afraid to drop the fingertips down to the mat. Breathe in here. And then pressing up, left elbow, left upper thigh, right arm up and over, extended side angle. Left the ribs up towards the sky. Breathe into all four sides. And then inhaling, sweep the left fingertips around, reach it up, and we'll step back into chair. Inhale, exhale, fold. Optional vinyasa. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, stepping back into plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. I hope you're following along with the Christmas playlist. It's intended for you to maybe even sing along. Have some fun here. Lift the left foot behind you. Exhale, left knee into your nose, belly button in. Inhale, send it up and back. Exhale, left foot steps forward. And then we'll reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Drop that back knee if you need. Breathing here. Exhale, bringing the left fingertips down. Step the right foot forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Reach it all the way up, inhale. Take a breather here. When you're ready, we're going to find our way back into chair for round 2. So this time we're going to start to pull the left knee in, keep the right hip nice and solid. Send that left foot back, coming into a warrior 3, belly button in, lift your chest. Rotate those pinkies in, inhale. Exhale, hands will start to come into heart center. As those left toes touch down to the mat, we're just going to keep going as we rotate back towards that left foot, coming into Skandasana. So I like to think of the dancers in the Nutcracker here. So you can imagine yourself gracefully dancing on your mat. Inhale. Exhale, coming into side angle, sending your weight forward, right elbow, right upper thigh, left arm up and over. Keep breathing. Sweeping that left arm around, we're going to take it down to the mat for side plank. Don't be afraid to drop that bottom knee just like we did in that very first side plank, or maybe you're going to take that right foot into a little Christmas tree here. Just don't press on that left knee. Right fingertips lift up, inhale, exhale back into plank for that optional vinyasa. Lift the chest, upward facing dog, exhale into a downward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. And then from here, we're going to lift the right foot up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, step it forward. Inhale, right fingertips lift. This time, we're going to reach those right fingertips forward with an inhale, extending. And as you exhale, cartwheel it open into a warrior two. Wrap that right glute underneath you, ribs over hips, belly button in. Take a deep, deep breath in here. As you exhale, we're going to start to interlace the fingertips behind the back, lifting the chest. Rotate through the hips as we transition into a warrior one. I have to widen my stance. And exhale, fold it forward. Don't be afraid to step that right foot over, left foot over, squaring your hips forward and open your chest. From here, we'll step that left foot up to meet the right, fold. So clasping our hands, and then release. Take a breather here, maybe pedal the feet out. And taking a deep breath in, lift it up, exhale, sink it into chair. Second side. We're going to come into warrior three on the second side, extending that right leg behind you. Lift your chest, belly button in, rotate the pinkies in. Nice full deep breath in. Exhale, hands come into heart center, softening that left knee, right toes touch down. And we're going to transition it back towards Skandasana on our second side. Lift the chest, lift with the glutes, extend through that left leg. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to lift up. We're going to transition into that side angle. Left elbow, left upper thigh, right arm up and over. Breathing in. And we'll start to sweep that right arm around, planting the right fingertips as we find side plank on the right. Again, sides are different. Maybe you drop the bottom knee. Maybe you take that left foot up and make your little Christmas tree. Just don't press it on your knee. Lift up through that right side body. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back into plank for an optional vinyasa. Remember to really tune into your body, what it needs, what it wants. Really asking if it wants the vinyasas or if it wants to skip. Left leg lifts, inhale, exhale, step it forward. Inhale, left fingertips reach up towards the sky. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips forward and cartwheel it open, finding that warrior two. Wrap that left glute underneath you, ribs over hips, belly button in. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, interlace the fingertips. We're going to transition into that warrior one. I'm going to hop my feet again. Exhale as you bow. Keep that core engaged, chest open. Breathe deep. And step the feet together and fold. Releasing the hands. Take a couple of breaths here. Next, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. We're going to transition to our next round. This will be our most challenging round. So take what serves you, take what makes you joyful, leave the rest behind. Sinking back into your chair, we're going to scoop that left leg behind you, coming into a warrior three. From here, using that block if you need it, bring your right fingertips to a block as you stack your hips, open up, and reach the left fingertips up to the sky. We'll make a half moon, a half Christmas moon. Belly button in, crown of the head forward. You can always use a chair here. You can press your back against a wall. So many options to modify this pose, bending the right knee. We're going to come up into a warrior two. Just a moment here, settle in, bring hands to heart center, and then find that skandasana. Here's where we get to have a little fun. We're going to march some toy soldiers into Santa's sleigh. Coming forward into a low lunge, reach the right fingertips up to the sky. As you open up, if you used your block, go ahead and transition it to the left side of your mat. I'm going to be using my block here. Bringing your left knee into your tricep, maybe hand to a block. We're going to sweep the left foot forward. You're going to grab the ankle, the calf, or the side of the left foot as we come into a pistol squat. Sit your hips back so that right heel comes down to the mat. And then we're going to stand up. If you wobble and you fall, it's okay. Toy soldiers fall over sometimes. Reaching the left fingertips behind you. If you're steady, you can gaze back at that left thumb. I am gazing forward and slightly down. Remember, you do not have to straighten your leg. You can even bend your knee and hug it into your chest, but when you're ready, we'll release, engage those core muscles, hold that left foot up, and then sweep it behind you into a warrior three. I know your right leg is trembling and shaking. We're almost done with it, but first, we have to find the sugar plum fairies. So just like we started with, nope, we're not going to grab it with the right foot. We're going to change, or the right hand, we're going to go left hand, left foot. There we are. Right fingertips forward, lift the chest. Sugar plum fairy or king dancer. Open your chest, breathe. Don't slingshot that leg back. Find that warrior three, left toes touch down, high crescent lunge. Hands come into heart center. Let's take a twist, which might feel like a little relief here. Take some deep breaths. Don't be ashamed to drop that bottom knee. And if that was a little bit too fast for you, pause the video and go back and try it again. Stepping left foot forward, revolve chair. Take a couple more breaths. And then sweep it back into center to lengthen out before folding forward. We are going to take a couple of breaths in this forward fold, let it go. If you'd like to take a vinyasa here, by all means do so. I'm just going to hang out with you guys, give some love to my legs. We're going to get ready for that second side. Lifting up halfway with an inhale, exhale, let it go. And reach it up. Hands into heart center. Just release that first side, wiggle out your legs. New experience, new side, new challenges, new fun. Sinking it back into chair. Right leg lifts. We're going into that half moon next. So again, maybe this feels different this side. Maybe you'd like to use the wall, the chair, a block, a book. Flexing that right foot, press it away from you. Belly button in, heart open. And then when you're ready to release, you're going to softly bend the left knee. That right foot will come down to the mat and we'll open up into a warrior two. Just a moment here, taking a breath, hands into heart center. Transition back to skandasana. Now we know why we're doing this, aside from our graceful nutcracker dance. We're going to go back forward. We're going to find that low lunge. Go ahead and set yourself up here. This is definitely not my strong side. Don't be afraid to wobble and fall. Reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky. We're going to start to bring that right knee in towards that right tricep. You can catch the side of the foot, again, the ankle, the calf, whatever. You can just hug your knee into your chest. It does not matter here. This is a very strong pose. It is very helpful for your physical body, but it is meant to bring you joy in this moment. Reaching the right fingertips behind you. Maybe gaze at it, maybe not. Just take a moment, feel proud of yourself. Feel grateful for your physical body, your strength. Reaching the arms up overhead, we'll pull those core muscles in for just a moment. And we're going to start to slowly sweep it behind us, finding that warrior three. I know that left leg is struggling here. It's okay. We're going to find that sugar plum fairy, finding that right foot with that right hand. Reach the left fingertips forward, open your chest. Just a moment here. And then releasing that right foot, don't slingshot it. Pull the belly button in, right toes touch down, hands into heart center as you twist. Lift through that right thigh bone, unless, of course, we're dropping that back knee, which is perfectly fine. Step the right foot to meet the left. Revolve chair. Pull that right hip back, sink your hips below your heart. Couple more breaths. Reach it up, lengthen out. Exhale, let it go. Awesome job, you guys. Again, if you want to try that again, you can pause the video, take a few moments of playtime on your mat. Can be a little frustrating, but just check in with why you're getting frustrated and why you can't be more joyful about it. Coming back into plank, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Reaching right foot up to the sky. Step it forward, windmill it open into warrior two. Take a couple of breaths here. Next inhale, lengthen the right leg, and then reach with those right fingertips until we come open into triangle pose. Open the chest. Lift through that right side body. Inhale here. As you exhale, left fingertips come down, squaring the hips for pyramid pose. Right hip back, left hip forward, lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Take a couple of breaths here. And stepping that left foot to meet the right, fold again, lift up halfway, exhale, fold. Step it back into plank. Don't be afraid to skip this vinyasa. And then back to a downward facing dog. Left foot will step forward, cartwheel it open, warrior two. Take a moment, find your footing. And then straightening the left leg, reach, and open it up into triangle pose. Breathe. Find some space here. Inhale. Exhale, bringing right fingertips down to the mat. Square your hips. Lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And stepping right foot forward to meet the left, fold again. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, step it back. Optional vinyasa, meeting in a downward facing dog. From here, we're coming into half pigeon. So right foot behind the left wrist. Take your time to square your hips. You can always do this on your back, just like we started at the beginning of your practice. Then you can fold any amount when you're ready. Just focus on softening here, softening your body, your mind, your thoughts, your breath. If you're a parent, I know that you have probably spent some of this holiday season beating yourself up for not being around enough, for not doing enough, for not buying enough. Just take a moment to breathe into the fact that you are enough, your presence is enough, and you've done enough. And let everything else just go. Take a couple more breaths here. And we're going to transition, taking left fingertips down, step that right foot all the way over, coming into Wild Thing, opening your chest, pressing up through those hip flexors. Take a couple of breaths here. We'll make our way back into plank, optional vinyasa. Otherwise, we will meet in a downward facing dog. Lifting left foot up towards the sky if you'd like, maybe drawing circles in that hip, maybe just pedaling the feet out. Find something that feels good to you. And when you're ready, step that left foot behind your right wrist. Half pigeon second side. Squaring your hips, lift your chest, fold any amount, and let go. Take a couple more breaths here. Then we'll do the same thing, slowly rising up, planting the right fingertips. We'll step that left foot over, coming into Wild Thing. Lift the chest, lift the hip flexors. Breathe. Then taking left fingertips down, optional vinyasa here. Coming back into that downward facing dog. Take any movements here, maybe lifting that left leg, maybe just pedaling out the feet. And when you're ready, we'll come down to your belly. We're going to come into constructive rest for just a moment here. So making a little pillow with your hands. Just relax the body. We're going to prepare to put those toy soldiers into Santa's sleigh. So we'll start with each side of the sleigh. Start by curling the right foot in. And just like we did, I call this floor dancer. So just like we did standing up, kicking right foot into right hand, reach the left fingertips forward. Maybe even that left leg comes up to hover. Hold this as long or as little as you'd like. Releasing, let the feet come up, windshield wiper. And when you're ready, you can change sides. So just really make this about yourself. If this is something that your body's just not feeling today, feel free to totally skip it. And we can take left foot to left hand. Same thing, other side. Maybe hold it for 3 to 5 breaths. Maybe 1 breath is enough. When you're ready to release, we'll do the same thing, windshield wiper. And just knowing that your 2 halves made a whole. So you have, in fact, built Santa's sleigh. Feel free to rest. Otherwise, we're going to come into bow pose, grabbing the outside of the feet, the ankles, kicking feet into hands. Bring the knees into midline, roll the shoulders back, open the chest. 3 to 5 breaths here if that feels okay. It's okay to rock back and forth. Releasing when you're ready. Windshield wiper those legs one more time. And we'll come back to the floor. We're going to come into angel wing pose or broken wing pose. Right arm down on the floor, shoulder height. Roll on top of that right shoulder. Left foot steps over. And just relax and breathe here. In keeping with our Christmas theme, we're going to call these angel wings today. I don't think angels can have broken wings, so we'll get rid of that. We'll let the right side of your forehead come down on the mat. Relax your neck. Definitely an area that holds tension. Feel free to stay here a little bit longer if you'd like, but if you're ready to change sides, we'll roll back into center, maybe shimmying over to the right side of your mat as you roll over onto that left shoulder. Same thing here. Maybe feeling a little bit different, that's okay. And when you're ready, you can make your way back to center. Of course, if you'd like to stay, then stay. But we can take a few moments back into center, coming into constructive rest. And then when you're ready, we can press back into that child's pose. We're going to finish our practice softly, taking these last few moments for yourself. Maybe you're practicing this at the end of your holiday. Maybe you still have more festivities, more family to entertain, family members to take care of. Whatever you have waiting for you off of the mat, just push all of that aside and breathe into yourself. Perhaps you feel a little bit lighter at the end of this practice, a little more energized. Maybe instead of noticing the holiday holding tension in your body, maybe you can find joy here. I know as a parent that sometimes we pretend we're all joyful all the time. In reality, we're worried, we're stressed, we're tired. So just see if we can find true joy in our body. Coming to a seated forward fold when you're ready. You can transition to our bottoms, reaching the arms up and folding forward. Breathing into the backside of your body in between the shoulder blades. Rest here. I'm not going to ask you to do anything challenging for the rest of your practice. I'm just going to ask you to listen to yourself, listen to your body, and listen to your breath. When you're ready to roll down to your back, go ahead and do so. Maybe windshield wipering those knees from side to side. And if you would like to open the front side of the body once again, we're going to transition into bridge pose. Gently lifting the hips, perhaps interlacing the fingertips underneath the tailbone. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths, maybe even up to 10 if that feels right. Feeling belly front to back, feeling ribs on all 4 sides. You, of course, don't have to interlace the fingertips. You can just let the hands rest by the sides. And you can even place a block underneath the sacrum if you'd like to do a supported bridge. When you're ready to lower, do so by exhaling and slowly rolling down the spine. Windshield wipering the knees from side to side. We'll come into happy baby pose. Knees to underarms, heels towards the sky. Feel free to rock from side to side or just be still. Breathe in and out. And then from here, stay here or take any pose that you would like before entering into your Shavasana. From here, I'm going to come into some supine twist. If that feels right to you, go ahead and do that, pulling knees into chest, dropping knees to the right, gaze over the left shoulder, and just melt here, breathing. Soften, let everything go, maybe even closing your eyes here. Reflecting and honoring what is, what has been, and what is to come. Pulling knees into center. We'll change sides. Knees over to the left, gaze over the right shoulder. Eyes opened or closed. And pulling knees back into center. When you are ready, start to release your body into your Shavasana. Closing your eyes, melting. Let go of your breath. Let go of your thoughts. Let go of anything external and bring it all in. Body is completely soft and heavy. Knowing that you are supported and you are cared for and you are loved. Just allow yourself the next few moments to rest, to restore, and to rejuvenate. Begin to gently deepen your breath. Perhaps reaching the arms up overhead with an inhale, stretching fingertips to one edge and toes towards the other. And when you're ready, you can find your way into fetal position, taking a moment to savor the breath, to breathe in gratitude to yourself, and to let go of anything that no longer serves you and that needs to stay behind when you step off of your mat this morning. Remembering that intention, remembering all the joy, the blessings, everything that we flowed through this morning. With your eyes closed, when you're ready, find your way into a comfortable, easy seat. Bringing all the love, light, and gifts into heart center. Acknowledging how you feel, acknowledging how blessed you are to wake up another day, to breathe, to move through this practice. The light in me sees, honors, acknowledges, and bows to the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for giving this time to yourself, for allowing me to be your guide, for playing, for exploring, and moving with me. From my heart to yours, Merry Christmas and Namaste.